Alright, before we go on this journey, let me give y'all a little background about me. I was born July 30th, 1977. If I told you it was 4:03 in the morning, it's probably right. That's just how my life been. Like, I done been through a lot, seen a lot, but I always been blessed. I mean, I didn't grow up in the church. I mean, when I was real small. Now, when I got like 12, my pops, he gave the streets up, and he went to go into church, so he was bringing us to church on the weekends, on Sunday. So I bought my first Bible. I was baptized by Paul Martin at Greater St. Stephen's in New Orleans East. So I bought my first Bible around 11 or 12. And I always studied it. Still to this day, I'm hooked on my Bible. I'm hooked on biblical stuff. But back then, I mean, before we started going to church, I didn't know it was a God. But I always felt like it was for some reason. I mean, now that I think back, as a little kid, I used to walk outside and talk to the stars about the things I wanted to happen or things I didn't want to happen. I used to pray and didn't even know it was a God. Well, I felt it was. But once I started studying the Bible, and I as a little kid, I started on. I mean, I would when I got to the dietary laws and stuff, I would only eat what the Bible said was good to eat. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I used to like shellfish. Still, I have a problem with boiled crawfish. I don't eat them a lot, but every now and then I slip up. But I'm allergic to shrimp. But pork, no problem not eating that. I mean, my stepmoms, she used to have to make a separate meal. My mama too. When they cooked pork, they had to make me a separate meal because I wouldn't eat pork. And this is as a little kid. I'm talking about 12, 13, 14, 15, when I got in my teenage years. I still was studying my Bible and everything. I used to have these weird dreams. Like when everything gonna close in, like it was this big giant white man that was always after me in my dreams. And right before he catch me, I would float off like I could fly. Now in my dreams, I can fly whenever I want. And I do it all the time in my dreams. I just fly. But there was symbolism in that dream. As I go on, I'll tell you more about it. But I used to read the Bible, and for some reason, the people over in Israel, the Khazarians, they never fit the script to me. I couldn't see them being the children of Israel. As mighty and as powerful, as athletic, as gifted as the children of Israel were, them people never fit. And then I used to look at white people, and when they wore jewelry, for some reason, jewelry don't look right on them. It just don't, to me. It never did. Then I would hear, we was kings and queens and all this stuff. Back in the day, all that. But all they'll teach you in school was slavery. They never teach you about before slavery. I'm going somewhere with this. I told you I'm going to start teaching you, not teaching you, start telling you some of the things I've learned. So, I was in the streets. And when I say I was in the streets, I was really in the streets. Like, the hustling and everything that come with it. Yeah, I was with it. And anybody who know me personally will tell you back in the Gap, I was with that bullshit. But I also always was pro-black. I'm one of them brothers that's like, you gotta really put my life in danger if you one of my people, because I'll just cut you off. If you play me, I'll just cut you off. Now, if you owe me buku money, it's gonna be a problem. But I'll just cut people off. We get into it or whatever, we might fight. Fist fight or whatever, I'll cut you off. You just gave me a reason not to mess with you. Now, if you playing with me or playing with my people, then it might turn, it might get out of hand for you. It got out of hand for me at times, but I'm still here. The one y'all call God always protected me. Me, I call him Yah. Yahweh. Elohim. But as I was saying, I used to study my Bible and all that, even when I was in the streets. I'm selling dope, all kinds of stuff. But I go home every night before I go to sleep. I had made it a point to read at least 3 chapters out of my Bible. Sometimes I just do 1 or maybe 2, depends on how long, because they're all very long chapters in certain books. But after a while, I started realizing that white Jesus wasn't it. White Jesus wasn't it. It didn't fit everything that was happening to my people, and then the way white folks treated us. I mean, racism, yeah. Them white tees. Boy, they something else. But I ended up getting, cops planted weed on me. Everybody know I don't smoke weed. And I used to be a drinker. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm going on, I ain't drinking 6 months now. And before that, I went 7 months without drinking. After I got real bad with my drinking during the COVID thing, to where I got the shakes and stuff. So I quit cold turkey the first time and had a seizure. So, I had to take medicine and everything to get where I'm at now, to where I don't need no drink, because I done gave it up. I don't even want it. I don't even thirst for it. But anyway, while I was in jail, because they planted weed on me, and Judge Windhurst, my lawyer told him that I would pay for a hair sample to prove that I didn't smoke weed the first time they planted weed. He said he going with the evidence presented, which was my hair. My hair is evidence, but he had the little blunt or whatever the cops gave. I don't even, to this day, I don't know if it was a blunt or a bag. I don't know. It was a little bit of weed, I know that. But, they made it to where, from them steady planting drugs, I ended up becoming a felon. Went on the run for 2 years. I ended up getting caught. I had to do 2 years, which is a long story, and that's a story for another time. But I go in jail. I'm steady studying my Bible. I mean, right before I went to prison, my wife had died like 5 months before. And, I was a single parent then. I'm still a single parent. And that's by choice, to be honest with you. It's too much going on these days. I'm like this. I'd rather be celibate. I am, like they got on incels. I'm a vile cell. I'm voluntarily celibate because I got kids. But now the way the day going and the women, I mean, sometimes a man can be a woman or a woman could be a man. I don't know how to put it. You know what I mean? And then a lot of women heads ain't right then, all these diseases going around and all that. I made it without catching nothing. I'm good, I'm healthy, I'm happy. You know, I do what I want when I want to. And then a lot of times people don't be on the same page as you. See, I'm a biblical person, I'm spiritual. You know, a lot of people, they are spiritual without being biblical, but I'm biblically spiritual because the God of the Bible only knew one people, which we gonna get into. There's only one people that he knew, that he's for. So while I'm back to jail, I'm in jail studying my Bible, working out, stuff like that. I'm coming up to my second year. I think I had I don't remember exactly, but it was around 10 or 8 months, somewhere between there. I went to sleep after reading my Bible, and we was in a 100-man dorm, and somebody said my name is Yeshua. I jumped up because I'm thinking somebody playing with me. I'm ready to fight. When I get up, everybody in the fucking dorm sleep except for a few dudes that was up by the TV watching TV. So I opened my Bible, I wrote down the name Yeshua, the best way I can spell it. I'm wondering who that is. And then a few months later, right before I got out, right before my brother passed, because my brother died from lung cancer at age 39. I was 36 when he passed. But that same voice came to me another night when I was asleep and said, I'll let you know when I'm on my way. It didn't say it like that. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what was said to me. So I remember that clear as day, and you know, I ain't think too much of it. I just studied my Bible, kept studying it. When I got home, I'm still in my Bible, and I just so happened to look up because I came across the page of my Bible. I still got my jail Bible with it wrote down in it. I came across a page, that page where Yeshua wrote on it, and I sat up there and I looked it up. Come to find out, that's Jesus' real name. Because there was no letter J. I found all this out after I got out of prison. And I came across the Watchman and Sister Deborah. And they have this Whited Out series. Because I was searching. That was on my mind heavy when I got out. I'm going to find out as much, you know, like when I was in there, it was only a certain amount of books I could read and stuff. But out here, I can go on the internet, research stuff. I can buy whatever books I want. I could get the Audible books and all this stuff. So after I seen the Whited Out series, it hit me. All the curses, because, you know, you gotta wonder why black people was going through all this stuff over here in America. Why are we punished like this? Why do we suffer? Why is there so much pain? And it's right there in the Bible, clear as day. Our ancestors went against Yah. So we were cursed. From the disease, from the murdering, standing on the kind man, a man with a soft heart will look at his brother with evil eyes. From we will grow stuff and not eat of it. We'll build houses and don't dwell within. The stranger will come up amongst us and grow high, and we stay low. It's all there. And that's when it really, really hit me. Like, I already knew God was real. But to see it written down that long ago, and to know that I am one of the people, one of the children of Israel. That's what we are. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of black folks, they don't know. They don't realize that many of us are the children of Israel. That's why Margaret Sanger came up with abortions to try to eliminate the children of Israel over here in America. Abortions were for black folk. But I'm saying that to tell you that a lot of y'all don't understand that you are the children of Israel. See, there's this thing going on, delineation, right now. It's real heavy in the U.S. FBA. By lineage, I am FBA. But by blood, I'm an Israelite. See, a lot of people don't realize we are setting ourselves apart. With the FBA, that's just the beginning. You are becoming holy. And all holy means is set apart. That's why we're delineating, we're separating ourselves from everybody else. And as you can see, all hell is breaking loose when we did that. But it really started for the world. Like, a lot of us were waking up to who we were. I mean, years before the 400 years was up. Because we were punished. It was a 400-year judgment from 1619 to 2019. And when 2019 hit, what happened? COVID. The whole world shut down. Then, ever since then, it's been turmoil, non-stop turmoil. And now that everybody's delineating, the Israelites rather, or FBA, however you wish to call it, but y'all still see you. You can say you're Solon, y'all see you. You can call yourself African American, but if you one of us that came over on the slave ships or were put into bondage, yeah, you no matter what you call us, Yah sees us. He know who you are. But a lot of people don't realize that we're supposed to set ourselves apart. We're supposed to distinguish ourselves from the rest of these groups. That's the way it was back in the day. We aren't supposed to be marrying them or intermingling unless y'all approve. You know, Moses, here's something else that'll tell you that the children of Israel was black. Moses married an Ethiopian. That aside, Because looking at us, even though we all black, you can tell the difference. But his sister and Aaron was talking trash about Moses marrying that Ethiopian woman. And God cursed his sister by turning her leprous white. He turned her white. Moses had to plead with Yah in order to turn her back her normal color, copper color, or rather burnt brass, the color of brass. We are the bloodline of Jesus. Or the one you call Jesus. We're his bloodline. That's why the world hates us. Everybody be wondering why they hate black Americans so much. Why everybody hate black Americans? Because we are God's chosen. And it's time for a lot of us to start acting like it. That's another reason I'm celibate. I ain't gonna lie. I done did my dirt. And the last real dirt I did was messing with a married woman. And when I tell you, I was cursed for about 3-4 years straight because of that. After I finally left her alone. Because I wasn't supposed to be doing that. And I knew better. When I do something wrong, I get punished immediately. A lot of times. Most of the time. So I know, as the Bible says, spare the rod, spoil a child. So you think if God tells you that, he won't chastise his children? If you see them doing something harmful, we're supposed to keep the 10 Commandments. And a lot of people, in the Christian church, they talk about they're the spiritual Israel, which is a lie. From the pit of hell, that's a lie. But you are supposed to keep those commandments. The first 4 commandments. The first 3 tell you don't play with God. You're supposed to love God with all your heart, and it tells you how you respect and love God. The 4th one is the Sabbath, to keep it holy. That is your sign that you are an Israelite. That is your sign that you're keeping the covenant. And the rest of them is just showing that you love. If you do any of the other things after the first 4 commandments to anybody, you don't love that person. Simple as that. The commandments are love. Now, there's gonna be a bunch of people that hear this and they gonna cast doubt on what I'm saying. There's gonna be the naysayers and people who just don't believe. But if you don't believe, it's not for you to believe. I'm not trying to convince you of nothing. I'm just telling you what I know. Like I said, from this day forth, I'm going to use this channel to tell people what I know. And to all you FBA, because I'm FBA, I'm ADOS, but I also know I'm an Israelite too. I'm Solon, but I know I'm an Israelite. The Bible is not a religious book. It's God's promise to a man named Abraham. And it's the past, present, and future of that lineage of Abraham. Abraham, he came from Samaria, which is today is Iraq. And in case you're wondering, yes, black people are actually in all over the what they call the Middle East. people that's there today are Turks. It's a bunch of Turks and stuff. Those people that they call Ish. The people over in Israel today, those are Turks, a lot of them. They're Turkish people. The children of Israel look like me. But with that being said, I'm going to meditate and ponder what I'm going to tell you next, and I'm going to pray about it. Hopefully you receive it and accept it. Oh, before I go, to show you, we're the children of Israel. We're the most imitated people on the earth. Everybody tries to look like us, dress like us, talk like us, walk like us. Whatever we put our hands to, we become the best at. I mean, the majority of the inventions, they try to say white people created it over here in the U.S. No, black people. Even AI, a black man. It's Israelites. We're innovators. Everything's stolen from us. White people are the biggest recipients of stolen valor that the earth has ever known. We the best basketball players, football players. No matter what we do, we always the best. That goes to Revelations. In Revelations, when he say, I know there are some that say they're Jews and are not. And it talks about how you're poor, but you're rich. You're rich with gifts. Our talent, singing. And now since the 400 years over, y'all about to see something. See this war in Iran? This about to expose a lot. Mark my words. That last blood moon was a sign from Yah to his people. But as I said before, I'm going to set up here and meditate on what I'm going to say next, or the next talking, or next time I get on here, I'm going to meditate before I do it. I'm going to pray. And hopefully I have the right words to give you. Shalom.